Hello, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you doing today?
Good, doing well. Welcome to your details meeting. I'm super excited to get started and congratulations on your engagement.
Thank you.
Yes. Did you do anything fun before this?
For this meeting,
Yes.
yeah, just some last minute details on talking to the dog handler.
Okay, excellent. All right. So let me give you a quick rundown of how this details meeting is going to go. Okay. So, first, we are going to go through the vendor team and then we are going to transition into the big questionnaire so you can learn how the day is going to kind of flow. Okay.
Okay.
Do you have any questions before we get started?
How long do you think this meeting will take?
It'll take probably about an hour. Is
Okay.
that all right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have an hour.
Perfect. All right, so yeah, let's go ahead and start with the vendor team. So, all right, yes, of course. So your day of coordinator is going to be me. I'll be with you all day and leading up to the event. Your venue is North Star Gatherings, and the venue access time starts at 11 a.m. And then the caterer, we have Relish Catering and Events. Is that still correct?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. Did we decide on a bakery for a cake or desserts?
Not yet.
Okay, no problem. We'll put that as TBD. Did we decide if we're going to do any ceremony and cocktail hour music?
Yeah, I wanted to get your ideas on that.
Of course, yeah. So I can send over our vendor recommendation list. We have a bunch of people to choose from, and they're all very reputable. Are we also going to do a DJ though for the reception?
Um, do you have people that you can recommend or
Yeah.
companies you can recommend for the DJ?
Yes, of course. That will all be included in the vendor recommendation list that I will send to you shortly after this meeting, within like 48 hours or so.
Okay.
Perfect. Okay. All right, and then for our bar, we have Peak Beverages. Is that still sound about right?
Yes.
Perfect. And then florist, really, really
Yep.
awesome. And then did we find a photographer?
Yes. We have a company with the photographer being Emily Elizabeth.
Perfect. All right. And then did we decide if we're going to do a videographer?
I don't think so.
Okay, no
we might
problem.
Just do that on our own.
Yeah, no worries. And then for hair and makeup, I see that we have rollers and rouge. Is that still correct?
Yes.
Perfect. All righty. And did we have an idea of how many artists we're going to have?
Not yet.
All right, no problem. Do we have an idea of how many ladies are getting hair and makeup done?
I think about 5.
5 for makeup or 5 for hair?
I believe 5 for makeup. We're not sure about hair yet.
Okay, no
When
problem.
do we need to know?
I will give you a to-do date in the task sheet.
Okay.
And we can get that done then. Okay. Are we going to do a photo booth?
I don't believe so.
Okay, no worries. And then linens and tabletop rentals, do you want to do a third-party vendor, or is that going to be included in the caterer?
It's going to be included in the caterer.
Awesome. All right, and then did you want to do any specialty lighting, drape, or ceiling installations? Upon request and approval from the venue.
That I'm not sure about yet.
Okay.
We haven't gotten that far.
No worries. I did receive your contract for transportation from the Boxcar Luxury Transportation. Pick up 2:45 and drop off at 11 p.m. Is that just for your guests, or is that including the VIPs as well?
Including the VIPs.
Awesome. Okie dokie. And we still have not found an officiant?
Nope.
Okay.
But working on it. We're narrowing it down.
Awesome. And then you said that you were talking to a pet handler?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. And then the hotel we have the Hilton Garden Inn in Denver, correct?
Yes, Hilton Garden Hotel.
Awesome. Are there any other vendors that I'm forgetting about? I know some people, if they have, a themed wedding, I've seen jugglers, I've seen magicians, I've seen tarot card readers. Is there anyone else that you would like to include as a vendor?
Not at this point, but open to ideas.
Okay, cool. All right, so now that that is all completed, let's go ahead and dive into this questionnaire. All right. And so this is going to be pretty lengthy, and it's totally okay if you don't know all the answers quite yet. It's just to get a good feel. All right. So let's see here. Alrighty. So, where would you like to have that ceremony?
For the actual wedding ceremony?
Mhm.
Okay. You mean in the venue? What part of the venue?
Yeah.
What are the options?
So we have back deck, side deck. I believe there's a covered patio. And then usually dinner is going to be in that reception hall, and then dancing in the ballroom.
Okay, so the ballroom's indoors, correct?
Yes.
Okay. What about, so the back deck, the wedding's in October, so weather-wise, what do you usually see in this location for the back deck? Is it usually open at that
Yeah.
time of the year?
Yes, it's typical. Yeah.
Outdoors?
Yeah, it can be
Okay.
done. And then we can always have a plan B in case it's like super snowy or something like that. Then we always have a plan B where we can kind of change things up just a little bit and move the ceremony inside.
Okay.
But just for the preemptive questionnaire, I can just
Yeah.
put the back deck
Yeah,
and
I
then
would like it outside if possible.
perfect. Okay, yeah, back deck. And then cocktail hour. If we're going to do the ceremony on the back deck, then typically cocktail hour will be on the side deck. Does that sound okay with you?
Uh-huh. Does it still have some outdoor
Yes.
availability? Okay.
Yeah, perfect. Okay. Side deck, and then dinner reception hall, and then dancing in the ballroom. Perfect. All right. And so where will you be getting ready?
I will be getting ready at the hotel.
Okay.
At the Hilton.
Perfect. Is that going to be including where you're getting dressed as well?
No, I think I'm going to bring my gown and the accessories to the wedding venue and get dressed there.
Perfect.
That's the plan.
Awesome. Are the ladies also going to be getting dressed at the venue then?
Yes, at the venue.
Okie dokie. How will you and the ladies get to the ceremony?
I believe we are going to carpool with some of the bridesmaids driving.
Okay. Awesome.
Carpool in like 2 cars.
Awesome. Excellent. Where is the groom going to be getting ready?
He is also getting ready at the venue.
Awesome.
And also his party, like groomsmen.
All right. So they're going to get ready there. They're going to get dressed there. All right. And then how will he and the gentleman get to the ceremony?
They are just going to drive themselves.
Awesome.
Cool.
Are they doing any fun morning activities beforehand, like golfing or anything?
I don't believe so.
Okay, perfect. And then so we said how many people getting hair done? You said about 5, and we're still not sure about makeup. Or did I have that the other way around?
It's the other way around. Makeup, probably 5 or 6 people, and then hair. We are not 100% sure yet.
Okay.
So exciting.
All right. And yeah, we said that we weren't sure yet how many makeup artists were going to be on site. Okay. So have you thought about what you guys would like to do for lunch or snacks or anything like that?
We have not thought about that yet. What do people typically do?
Yeah, that's okay. So I've seen a few different things. I've seen, maybe perhaps the bride's mom will bring like some snacks like hummus and like veggies to dip just to get the bellies full a little bit. I've also seen people bring in like sandwiches. So it's just whatever you want to do. Like if you can handle a full meal, if you want to just snack, it's completely up to your discretion. But we can put in TBD for now. And then once we think about that too, we will think about who will be in charge of this on the wedding day for each party.
Okay.
So girls and guys, because
Okay.
we don't want any intermixing for that.
Okay, yeah, probably heavy snacks would be good.
Perfect, yeah. And then do you want to include getting ready photos with the photographer?
What are these?
So that's kind of like, finishing touches on makeup, on hair while you guys are getting dressed.
Okay.
Just kind of the ladies in the bridal suite while they're getting ready. Sometimes couples like to take photos doing that, and it's just kind of like they just photograph like kind of the process of the wedding day itself.
Okay. Yeah, I want those. Probably not at the hotel, but I would like those at the venue.
Okay,
when we're getting
perfect. Yeah, awesome. Do you want to do some detail shots with the photographer? So usually those are like styled photos with things like the invitation, shoes, perfume, rings, veils, stuff like
ready.
that.
Yeah. Yes, especially of our rings and of the veil.
Okay, perfect. Now will you two be exchanging letters or gifts with each other?
I'd like to do letters, but I need to talk to Gibson about that.
Okay, no problem.
So I need to decide that one later.
Yeah. Okay, and so then once we think about that after you talk to Gibson, then we can think about if you want to exchange them while you get ready or with each other later in the day.
Okay.
Okay? And so who will be helping you into your dress?
The maid of honor, who's my sister, Kelly.
Okay. Awesome. Okay, now that was all while getting ready. That's all done. Perfect. Now we can move on to the pre-ceremony questions. Do you want to do a first look with each other? And if you don't want to do a
What is
first
that?
look, so that's basically after you guys are all ready. It's usually right before the ceremony, kind of like in between some photos. So that's where, kind of the groom will be kind of looking off to one side and you'll go up to him and you guys will kind of have like a magical first look moment. Or on the other side too, you can do like a first touch. That's definitely like the groom is kind of facing away and you can touch his shoulder. It's just kind of a cute little thing to do.
Okay.
It's becoming
Yeah.
more popular for sure.
Okay, yeah, let's do that.
Okay, awesome. And then did you want to do a first look with anyone else special?
Maybe. I think I do want to do one with my dad, and then another one with my mom and my stepmom together.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. Okay. And so another question there too. Would you like to read those personal vows or letters to each other during that first look, or do you want to wait until the ceremony?
Let's do it at the first look.
Okay.
I don't really want the guests to hear our personal vows.
Yeah, totally. You definitely want that private moment to be special. Okay. Awesome. And then do we want to do some wedding party photos before the ceremony? So that's you with all your bridesmaids, the Gibson with all of his
Yes,
groomsmen.
Definitely. I would like to do as many before as possible.
Okay, perfect. All right. And then if time, would you also like to include immediate family photos as well? Just try
Yes.
and bang out as many photos as
Yeah.
we can. Okay.
As many before as possible.
Totally.
For
So
sure.
that way we can get to cocktail hour for sure. All right. And then is there anything else happening before the ceremony that I should know about?
So we do want to do some photos with our dog Hazel before the guests get there.
Okay.
So she's not freaking out too much and she's calm.
Okay, perfect. And so with your ceremony time starting at 4, usually guests show up around like 30 minutes before then. So we'll try and get all those photos before 3:30 so that way you guys, the bridal party, can kind of be hidden for the processional walkout.
Okay.
Okay. And so I know that we're still looking for an officiant and everything, but are you looking at officiants that have done weddings before? Are you looking for friends?
You know, we are still not sure. We've talked about a friend, a specific friend doing it, but haven't talked to him about it yet in depth. So I'll have to let you know on that.
Yeah, that's totally okay. Once we figure that out, then we can talk to them about the script and everything and like preferences of what you would like them to say, like no phones or who gives this bride away, things like that. So we can definitely talk about that more once we figure it out for sure. Okay, and so then with grandparents, do we want grandparents to walk down the aisle or be preceded?
So Gibson has a grandmother coming, Grandma Nita. She'll want to be preceded, I think, before because she can't walk very well.
Okay. Will we have someone to help her out throughout the evening? I'm not as familiar with North Star gatherings, so I don't know how many stairs are required. Obviously, all venues have to have some sort of ADA compilation, accessibility and stuff like that, but I'm not as familiar with it as maybe perhaps some other coordinators. So
Okay.
Will she have like a helper?
I think she will. I think she will have her, one of Gibson's cousins, I believe, can help her walk down the aisle.
Okay, awesome. Okay, and so then will step parents or partners be walking down the aisle or will they be preceded?
So Gibson's mom and stepdad will walk down together, since his dad has passed away. My mom and stepmom want to walk down the aisle together, actually.
So your mom and your
Stepmother.
okay.
Walk down together, yeah.
Okay. Sorry. I accidentally. All right. And then will Gibson be walking down the aisle with a parent or will he come in alone?
I think he is going to be going down alone.
Okay, no worries. And so then with the wedding party, do we want them walking in pairs or individually?
In pairs.
Alrighty. Will the wedding party be standing with you at the altar or will they be seated?
They are going to be actually standing at
Okay.
the altar.
Perfect. Do we want your families to sit on the opposite sides of the aisle so they can see your faces or sit on the same side that you're standing on?
Can you explain how that would?
Yeah, of course. So like you'll be right here and Gibson will be right here and either you can have like your side of the family sit behind you and vice versa or you can have them on the opposite side so they can kind of like watch your face as you guys are like doing the ceremony. It's very
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, let's do that opposite sides.
Okay. Perfect. Yes, I love that idea. Okay. And do we have any flower girls and or ring bearers?
No ring bearers, but we have a flower girl who's a niece. Her name's Ellen. And then our dog.
Okay.
Hazel will be the flower dog. And they'll walk down
Perfect.
together.
Okay. Alrighty. And is it safe to assume that they will be sitting with family after they walk down the aisle?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. How old is Ellen?
She is 4.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so at that age where it might be best if she's sitting. Perfect. All right. And yep, we have Hazel walking down the aisle. All right. And after you say I do and kiss and the wedding party exits down the aisle, will parents also stand and exit or will they stay put for photos?
What do you suggest?
So I think that if you want to just straight after the ceremony bang out the rest of the photos that need to be taken before the cocktail hour, it might be best so that way we can do the immediate and extended family just right then and there. Otherwise, if they exit and stuff like that, you might need to have like a bridesmaid or groomsman go chase them down for photos.
Yeah, let's just have them stay put for the photos.
Okay, perfect. All right, and then approximately how long would you like your ceremony to be?
It's going to be pretty short. I
Okay.
think it's going to be like probably 20 minutes.
Perfect. Yeah, I think that's a great amount of time. All right, and so then are we going to be doing some traditional vows or writing your own vows?
So we're going to do both. We're going to do our own and share them at our first look, just our personal vows. And then we'll do traditional vows at the ceremony.
Excellent. Okay, love that idea. Alrighty. And in that case, who will have those traditional vows for the ceremony? Like, who will be hanging on to them?
Probably I'll have my maid of honor,
Okay.
and then the best man do that for both of us.
Excellent. Okie dokie. Will there be any readings or any songs or anything like that other than what the officiant is reading?
No.
Okay. Perfect. And so then also, who will hold on to the rings for the ceremony? Typically, it's the best man, as you know, like the officiant is kind of holding the script and the maid of honor is holding 2 bouquets.
Okay, so yeah, we'll do the best man.
Awesome.
Both of them.
Okay. Are you incorporating any ceremony traditional items and or unity pieces?
We are not sure yet, but we kind of would like to do something.
Totally.
Are there some things you'd suggest?
Yeah, so I have to be super honest and say that I definitely could do some more research on Unity items. I don't know too much about them. I don't know how many there are or anything like that, but I can definitely do some more research and get back to you with kind of what I find, and we can come up with something
Okay.
that will work for both you and Gibson to make it super duper special.
Okay.
Okay. Awesome. All right, we'll get to that question after we figure out Unity items. And alrighty, are you signing your marriage license during or after the ceremony?
We're gonna do it after.
Okay. All right. And do we have an idea of a specific place that you would like to do it?
Probably we'll just see where the photographer wants to do it.
Okay.
I'll leave that up to her.
Excellent. And then do we have any witnesses or who will be signing the license?
Yeah.
We can have the officiant with witnesses, a dog, just you guys.
Okay.
Excuse me.
The bride, or my maid of honor, and then Gibson's sister. So both our sisters will do that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Perfect. And then also, I know that Hazel is your guys' pride and joy. I know that dogs can sign license or marriage licenses, excuse me, but my manager did just email me. I think they kind of changed the laws about some of that stuff. I can definitely do more research, figure out if that's something that we can do. If it is possible, is that something that you'd be interested in having Hazel sign your marriage license?
In addition to the sisters?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Okay,
Yeah, I think I'm
perfect.
into that.
Yes, I will add that to my to-do
Oh, thank
list.
you.
And I know, right? But again, Colorado kind of changed some things up, so I have yet to kind of delve into that. But I can do that, and I will let you know.
Okay.
Okay, and so yes, we kind of talked briefly about ceremony location B. And so depending on the weather, usually we try to kind of wait it out, but like rain usually passes in 15 to 20 minutes. I know snow is kind of a different kind of deal, but is that something that you would like to wait it out, or if things are kind of crummy, do you want to just jump straight into the plan B?
I think we'd like to wait it out as long as possible.
Okay, perfect. And obviously we will be, communicating openly day of, and we can come to that decision together. You'll definitely have the final say of whatever happens and where the ceremony will take place. Okay, awesome. Is there anything else that I need to know about the ceremony?
I don't think so. I think that's it.
Okie dokie. Quick question also. I know that we talked briefly about like Unity items and stuff like that, and you briefly mentioned that Gibson's father had passed away. Did you want to do any sort of like memorial thing for that? Like we can do like a memorial chair or something like that? And obviously you'll probably want to talk to Gibson about it, but
yeah, maybe something. I don't know about a chair, but maybe like something to acknowledge him.
Mhm.
Let me talk to Gibson about that.
Totally. Awesome. Okay. All right. Now moving on to cocktail hour. So for pictures after the ceremony, we briefly mentioned this, but I just want to get clarified answer. Do you want extended family photos in addition to immediate family, or?
No, just I think for that part, just the immediate family.
Perfect. And did we want grandma?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Grandma
So
Nita also.
perfect. Yeah. So we'll have her also just stay seated then
Okay.
after the ceremony. And we'll bang out those photos. Awesome. Alrighty. All right. So who can you each appoint to be kind of a go-to person to help with family photos? As my assistant and I will be kind of setting up reception, and photographers can't track down, everybody. So who maybe perhaps from your bridal party can we appoint?
Probably. Oh, okay. So for Gibson's side, let's have his sister Alexa. She's a bridesmaid,
Okay.
and from my side, my sister Kelly can do it.
Perfect. Alrighty. After photos, would you like to join cocktail hour right away, or would you guys like to enjoy a quiet moment together where I can bring you guys a drink, some appetizers? You guys can just have 10 minutes to kind of reflect on your ceremony and just spend some time together.
That would be really nice. Let's
Okay.
do that. Just like a 10-minute relaxation
Awesome.
moment would be nice.
All right. Yeah, so I will bring you a drink after the ceremony. What would you like me to bring you? That can be either a signature cocktail, champagne.
Probably champagne, but I'm not sure yet, depending on the signature cocktail.
Yeah.
So maybe we can wait for me. And Gibson actually just would probably like a lemonade. Since
Okay.
He doesn't drink alcohol.
Okay. Yeah, in that case too, I know that we're thinking about signature cocktails. We can totally get in touch with catering, see what they have to offer, and then I'm sure they'll be able to do some sort of mocktail as well if he doesn't drink any alcohol. And we can do a signature mocktail instead.
That'd be great.
Okay, cool. And then for cocktail hour, do we want it to be kind of the standard 1 hour, or would you like an extended cocktail hour for more time to socialize, depending on photos and stuff?
I think just an hour is good.
Perfect.
Also, this is something Gibson and I talked about, having something dedicated to our dog as a drink. Hazel, like a signature
Yeah.
cocktail in honor of maybe using the words Hazel.
Okay,
Is that
yeah.
something that you could talk to catering about?
Yeah. Dedicated. Yeah, we'll add that to the list of things to talk to Peak Beverages about for sure.
Okay.
Alrighty. And so then also, depending on how many photos that we need to get, all that stuff, how important is joining the cocktail hour? Low, medium, high priority to you guys?
I would say medium, because I love to get as many cocktails as we can.
Mm-hmm.
But, so I won't, if we miss all of, or part of cocktail hour, I will not be sad.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, those pictures are important for sure. Okay, and then do you want your dress bustled before the reception? And if not, when would you like to do that?
Actually, I do want to have it bustled before the dinner starts.
Before dinner.
Before dinner.
Okay.
And my sister, Kelly, can help with that.
Okay, perfect. That was going to be my next question. Awesome. All right, and then do you have perhaps a photo of your dress?
I do.
Okay, awesome. If you want to go ahead and send that to me, just so I can also have it in case Kelly needs help bustling, I can be there to assist as well.
Oh, okay.
Awesome. Yeah. Perfect. Anything else that I should know about cocktail hour?
I don't think so. Is there anything I'm missing that people usually ask?
I don't think so. I think we're rocking and rolling. All right. Now for the reception. Do you want to be announced into the reception by the DJ or band?
Yes, I think so.
Perfect. And then how would you like to be introduced? Mr. and Mrs., tonight's newlyweds. Please welcome Rebecca and Gibson.
Probably just simple, something like, please welcome Rebecca and Gibson. That, I like that.
Awesome. Me too. Awesome. Okay, perfect. Now, do we want the bridal party to be introduced?
How, I'm not sure. What do you usually see?
I see a mixture. I mean, it also, I think, depends on, kind of how big the bridal party is. Sometimes, and especially, if you want to get straight into dinner, it's nice to, like, introduce them as one big group. Some people do it in pairs and, like, they do kind of like a dance coming out. They have fun with it, stuff like that. But it's completely up to you and how you would like it to flow.
Okay. Or go ahead.
And sometimes I think, the bridal party isn't always introduced, but most of the time they are.
Okay. I think maybe just doing it as one big group.
Perfect.
I don't want them to, take time away to do like something kind of silly that I'd rather us get to it.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, one big
dinner.
group. Amazing. Do you want parents introduced?
I don't think so, no.
Okay, no worries. Will someone be giving a dinner blessing?
My mom will probably want to do a prayer, but I need to ask her.
Okay, no worries. And then also, is someone going to be giving a welcome speech?
Probably Gibson's mom. She does talk a lot though, so I'm a little worried she will talk too long.
Oh yeah, no problem. We once I start drafting up that timeline, I will put in, like 2 minutes or 5 minutes, so she will have kind of a time limit on there.
Okay.
She can't just run wild with it, especially when everyone's, hungry for dinner. So
Okay.
that'll be and we can also talk about that too, like rehearsal dinner, stuff like that. So we'll be able to get that taken care of.
Okay.
Do we know what kind of service style for dinner? Like plated, family style, buffet, stations?
We're gonna do buffet.
Excellent. Love it. Love it. And then in that case, will salads be preset on the tables before guests sit down?
Yes, I like that.
Okay.
Case.
Okay. Do you want to greet tables during dinner?
No, we have discussed this, and we think that's going to take a lot of time. So
Yeah.
people can come up to us,
Perfect.
and chat.
Yes. Love that. Love that. All right. And then would you like to do some sunset and or golden hour photos? Typically it takes about like 15 minutes.
Yes, definitely think that would be really pretty.
All right. High priority on that one?
Yes, high priority.
All right, perfect. And then depending on the time and the timeline, I will try, and because it's a higher priority, I'll try to make sure that we definitely set aside some time. But depending on how things go, sometimes it can kind of cut into dinner. Is that and especially if it's only 15 minutes, would that be okay with you and maybe miss out on 15 minutes of dinner?
I think that's okay.
Okay.
think
All right.
we can-
And I will try to work around where, there's a perfect amount of time for you guys to kind of sneak away and get those sunset photos, like without missing anything.
Okay.
Okay. Now, who will be doing toasts and speeches after dinner? And is there like a specific order that you would like to do that in, or do we know yet?
I think we'll start with my maid of honor, Kelly. She would like to do one, and then I also have a matron of honor, Allison.
Mm-hmm.
So probably Kelly, then Allison, and then end with the best man. His name's Alex.
Perfect. Awesome. And then are we going to be doing maybe some other speeches perhaps during rehearsal dinner?
I don't think so.
Okay. Yeah, no worries. All right. And so then for those speeches, would you like guests to have champagne or drink in hand for those toasts?
What do you mean by drink in hand? What is...
So drink in hand is kind of like for the guests, it's kind of up to them to have their beverage. So they have got to go to like the bar and get their own drink before, versus like a champagne toast. That's something where like the catering team and bar services will have like passed champagne to everybody. So everybody has champagne versus, just your bridal party and your, the parents and stuff like that. They might just have some champagne. Completely up to you. I've seen it done all sorts of ways.
Okay. So I think I would like champagne available for everybody.
Okay.
Hand it out to everybody. And then for Gibson, he'll probably just want lemonade or something, like a mocktail instead.
Okay. Awesome. Okie dokie. Now, do we want to do your first dance right after you are introduced into the reception or after dinner?
Let's after dinner.
Okie dokie.
So we can eat.
Yes. Yeah. Fill those bellies. Yeah. All right. And then did we want to do any special dances with any other folks, special loved ones, anything like that?
I'd like to dance with my dad, and I think Gibson will dance with his mom.
Perfect.
I need to ask both of them.
Okay. Yeah, no worries. Are we doing a garter toss?
No.
Awesome. Will we be doing a bouquet toss or a bouquet dedication to someone important, like your mom or your sister?
I think that sounds fun. I'd like to do a bouquet dedication for both our moms. And I think I'll use the bridesmaids bouquets for both.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. Let's do that. Yeah, are you going to be doing anything with your bouquet after the wedding?
I am not sure yet.
Yeah, there's plenty of options like preserving them, stuff like that.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, maybe you can give me some more ideas about that in our next talk.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Awesome. Okay, cool. And then did you want to incorporate any other dancing traditions, anniversary dances?
No, I'd rather it just be kind of an open, free, style type, dance situation. And I want to make sure the DJ doesn't play any of those silly, like, kind of cheesy songs like the Macarena or the Electric Side. It's not really our style.
Okay, perfect. No problem. Awesome. And so before we get to like where everyone can dance, do we want to do some cake cutting? I know that we haven't decided on a bakery yet, but did you want to do? Have we thought about that? And we can always circle back to these questions as well.
Let's circle back to that because we haven't decided what desserts we'll have yet.
All right, perfect. So yeah, this whole section we will go ahead and come back to after we find a bakery. So that's things like if you want it, the cake cutting to be announced, keep the top layer, any other dessert, stuff like that. So we'll definitely circle back to that once we have more of an idea. And then did you want to do a private last dance just with you and Gibson kind of while everyone kind of gets ready for the grand exit?
Yeah, that sounds kind of nice.
Yeah, it's really cute.
Is that something that's announced typically by the DJ?
So typically the DJ will be like, okay, everyone, last song. He'll play that last song. Then he'll kind of be like, all right, everyone, like time to, move on out. Obviously nicer than move on out. But time to line up for the grand exit. They'll get all their props. They'll line up for you guys, and you guys can have that one last song, just you guys in there. I don't know if you wanted to have that photographed or if you guys just really want it to be very private. I don't know if the DJ would also step away or anything like that, but it's usually pretty intimate. And so if that's something that we can do, if you want to do, we can definitely do that.
Okay, that sounds nice.
Yeah, it's really cute. Okay, and then are we doing a grand exit?
We talked about doing sparklers. Do you know if those are allowed?
Yes, so I did double check with the venue. Unfortunately, sparklers are not allowed at the venue. Did you have any other ideas? Like we can do like glow sticks, bubbles.
Glow sticks.
Yeah, okay.
I like the glow stick idea.
All right, perfect. I will have to also get those approved by the venue. Venues are very strict on what, is allowed and stuff like that, and depending on location stuff and everything. So I'll double check, and if, those are also not allowed, I will get a list of approved items that we can use, and we can go from there.
Okay.
Cool. All right, and so then that grand exit, Would you like it photographed? And we also have to think about the photographer contract and how many hours you contracted them for, because I know that you did say that you wanted some getting ready photos at the venue, so we might just have to play around with that. But if it's possible with your contract, would you like that photographed?
If it is possible, I think so.
Okay.
But let me double check on that.
Yeah, no worries. And then if it is not possible just with the contract, did you want to add additional time to that contract with the photographer? Or we can also just have someone, with their phone or get disposable cameras or something like that. There are plenty of other options to get that photographed as well.
Okay. Let me double check with Gibson on that.
Okay.
I'll get back to you.
Okie dokie. And then are we staying at the Hilton Garden Inn on the wedding night as well?
We probably. We
Okay.
are not 100% sure yet.
Okay, no worries. And so then, yeah, we have that boxcar transportation. And so that's going to be for guests and VIPs all going back to the Hilton.
Okay.
Does that sound right?
I believe so, but I need to check on that also.
Yeah, no problem. Still need to confirm. Okay. All right. And then is there anything else that I need to know about the reception?
I don't think so.
Alrighty. All right, this is going fabulously. Just a few more questions and we will go ahead and wrap up.
Okay.
Are there any family dynamics that I should be aware of? Like, people who don't get along, alcohol problems.
Yeah, not too many, but my mom and dad are divorced. My dad's remarried, and then my mom and stepmom are friends, so that should be fine. And then Gibson's dad died, and his mom's dating someone, and we like him, but we don't really want him to walk down the aisle. They just started dating.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. Okay, perfect. And so awesome. That's all fabulous information. Is there someone that we can appoint to assist with these dynamics? Like someone that we can go to if anything arises or, any conflicts?
Probably my sister Kelly, but I don't think there should be any
Okay,
issues.
perfect. And so then guests who have perhaps some mobility restrictions, we have Grandma Nita with some mobility, and we have maybe perhaps a cousin to help her out.
Yes.
Perfect. Was there anyone else that I should keep eyes on?
My aunt has some health issues, and she'll be there. She might need just to rest from time to time. So, I did tell her she can use the bridal loft if she needs a little space or rest time.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, sounds good. And then are we having a second dress or an outfit change?
No outfit changes, but I'll probably change my shoes into my bedazzled sneakers.
Awesome. Perfect. Okay. So, all right. Do we have a rehearsal scheduled already?
Not yet.
Okay, perfect. We'll add that in the to-dos. Awesome. And then do we have a final walkthrough scheduled?
We don't have one quite scheduled yet, but they did email us about it, so we just need to get back to them.
Okay, no worries. Also add that to the to-do. No worries. And will you be going on a honeymoon after the wedding?
Yes, we are going to New Zealand. Very excited for a week right after the wedding.
Oh my gosh, amazing. So would that be the 20th through the 27th?
I believe
Like, is it the next day right after the wedding?
It is.
Wow. Okay, that's gonna be super duper exciting. You'll have to tell me how it goes and how beautiful it is.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yes.
It'll be so much fun. Perfect. Okay. And then, do you know if anybody, caterer, venue, anything like that, has started a floor plan yet?
We have not not quite started one yet.
Okay, no worries. Do you have an idea of how you want the reception set up, or would you like me to create a draft based on what usually flows the best?
I think what we'd like your suggestions.
Okay.
That. Yeah, for sure.
Perfect. No worries. I'll get that started here in the next few weeks or so. And then, yeah, so then if we do some Unity pieces or whatnot, we will probably have a table also included in the floor plan, but we'll still chat about Unity pieces later on.
Okay.
Do you want a sweetheart table, which that's just for the couple, or a head table with all the wedding party?
I think a sweetheart table would be nice.
Cute. Okie dokie. Awesome. Okay, and then for the guests at dinner, do you want all rounds or all rectangles or a mix of both? And this will also kind of depend on what the venue has to offer and like what kind of tables they provide at the venue itself. But do you have a preference?
I think whatever they have is fine. I think they might have mentioned they just have the rectangle tables, and those are fine.
Okay. Perfect. Okay, alrighty, and that was amazing. We got so much information put on here, and that's awesome. There's only a few to-dos from this list that I will get back to you very shortly. How are you feeling after that? Do you feel overwhelmed? Do you feel good?
I feel pretty good. I think we're keeping it somewhat simple, but I am a little worried that Gibbs and I will talk and have some more questions. So,
and that's totally normal. That's perfectly fine.
Reach out to you about that. Okay.
Of course. Yeah. But do you have any questions right now about any of this information, or any other points of discussion regarding like these logistics?
The ones we just talked about, I think I'm pretty set on.
Okay.
Are we going to discuss decor at this meeting?
So not right now, actually. I'm going to, after this meeting, I'm going to review a bit of the decor pieces. And that's just because decor tends to change so often that it's kind of one of the last things that we kind of do, just because things change. You might have different ideas down the line. And so I'll also review everything. But if you want to perhaps create some sort of like Pinterest mood board that I can take a look at, please feel free to do that. Send me a couple pictures for inspo, stuff like that. But we'll definitely have a meeting later down the line where we'll go in depth on all the decor pieces.
Okay.
Yes. Alrighty. And I think that's all I have here.
Okay.
Yeah, again, any last minute questions?
So what are our next steps?
Perfect. Yeah. So, this was kind of a very, in-depth meeting. I will reach out to you and update the to-do lists and tasks and just kind of get a recap email about kind of what was discussed here in the next like 48 hours or so.
Okay.
And we can kind of just go from there.
Okay. Great. And at that point, you'll let me know from there what the next step is?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for your help.
Yeah.
You were really awesome and lots of good questions. I'm really excited.
I am so excited too. Yes. Okay. Thank you so much
Yay.
for meeting with me, and I will be in touch.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yes. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.